Hi guys. So dinner tonight is German burgers with Spätzle. Um, it is October, and my husband, his family is Irish, German, Scottish, Dutch, English. So he's a mutt. No Italian, and I'm 100% Puerto Rican. So yes, that's a pretty wild mix there. But every October, I do like to honor the German side of his family, which was his grandfather. And on his mother's side, his grandfather on his father's side is Scottish or was Scottish. Um, they don't have many dishes, but the Germans have some good dishes. So, some easy stuff I do try to incorporate into our fall recipes. And German burgers are really, really easy. I just got to get some sliced bread, but you just add, it's almost like a meatloaf. So, an egg, and I want to make a lot of them too because I want leftovers. So, an egg, um, cubes of bread, salt, pepper, and I know Pioneer Woman made something like it's called like a Salisbury steak. So she had put, I believe, the Lipton onion soup mix. I am not doing that, but because I don't have it, but I have made it that way. But I'm gonna put my Savory Spice Homestead. It's like a little smoky, like a little smoky. You can see like there's paprika in it. So that is what some of the German hamburger recipes do call for is paprika, just paprika, salt, and pepper. I'm gonna put that because I don't have paprika. So I'm gonna add that to it. And then you make them into patties and then you pan fry them. And although some German recipes do not ask for a brown gravy, I am going to do a brown gravy. And I had picked this up when I went to Virginia to see my best friend. There was a store called Europa, or there is a store called Europa there that has all this imported stuff from Europe as well as New York. They had bagels and knishes and cannolis, and I was so excited. But I thought this was really interesting, and I picked up a couple of these packets. They had all different kind of recipes. It is in German, but then they do put an English label. This one is for a pot roast, so that will go good with beef. The sauerbraten, so I'm going to actually make the gravy out of that because I don't have beef gravy. Although I have Gravy Master, but that's not the same. So I'm going to do that. And then I usually make homemade Spätzle. I will do that another time. But I did pick this up from Aldi's a while back. I figured it might be a quick way of making Spätzle. Spätzle looks like more like globs of that dumplings, like when you have chicken and dumplings. Not that easy to make, not with the equipment that I have, but it is fun and the boys really love it. I am going to try this dried Spätzle, which probably is going to taste more like an egg noodle. And then I make a mustard cream sauce that goes on it. You actually put butter on it, but then a mustard cream sauce. And then I'm going to make broccoli with that. But that is what is for dinner tonight. So I diced up onions. That's going to go in there. And like I said, the homestead seasoning spice and some bread. So I got to go get my bread. I'm going to cube it and I got to put an egg in it and I'm going to get that going. And you'll see how that goes. So there is the mixture. You know what? I take that back. It's more like meatballs, not so much meatloaf. Because of the bread. Yeah, I guess they're like the same. Anyway, so this is about 3 pounds of ground beef. I added probably 4 slices of bread and I tore them up into little pieces. I diced up really small so that the boys don't complain. An onion, I threw that in there. And then I use my Homestead seasoning, which is has paprika base to it. So that's what they want, the sweet Hungarian paprika or smoked paprika with salt and pepper. This probably has salt in it, so I am going to hold off on the salt. And the gravy packet probably has tons of sodium. So I'm probably not adding extra salt to that. And then I'm actually going to put a little milk. German recipe actually asks you to soak the bread in water first and wring it out. I don't do that, so I'm going to add some milk so that the bread absorbs the milk, just like I do to my meatballs, which keeps the meat nice and tender. And I got 2 eggs in there. They're in there somewhere. And then you make them into hamburgers, and then I'm going to pan cook them. I have my avocado oil, and I'm going to throw on some YouTube videos while I'm making my burgers. Haven't made this. This is basically a fall dish that we do mostly in October. And then sometimes we do the pork cutlets, which they call them schnitzels. Schnitzels? No. Yeah, I think schnitzel. What else did I do that's German? Yeah, so we do have to make the pork cutlets, the schnitzel, and red cabbage is always good to go with all that. So, oh, and potato pancakes. I got to do potato pancakes one day, but let me just do that first. So there I'm frying it, and the beef is 80/20. I did put a little bit of avocado oil on the bottom, but now it's starting to produce a lot more oil, so I'm going to try to take some of that out when I'm adding other burgers. I mean, that's going to be quite a bit of burgers, so we're going to have leftovers. I do have leftover mashed potatoes in the refrigerator, so that could be another dinner. And now I'm going to get the water started for the spätzle. Like I said, it looks more like an egg noodle, you know, but I got to do it from homemade again one day. That's always fun. And then here's the broccoli I forgot to make with the other food the other night, the pumpkin ravioli and the steak. So I'm going to chop that up, and we're probably, I think I'm going to micro steam it. I don't think I'm going to roast it. A lot of times when I have multiple dishes going on, I forget about the vegetables in the oven and they burn. So I'm not going to do that tonight. Kids are playing outside, laundry's going, and burgers are frying, so the vegetables can be forgotten about. So I'm going to micro steam them instead. The burgers are still cooking, but it's almost done. The spätzle is done, and I tasted it. Tastes just like egg noodles, so I probably won't be buying these again, although they're cute and easy. But when it comes to spätzle, I'll just make it myself, because it definitely comes out more like a chicken and dumpling kind of pasta. But I put half a stick of butter in there. These are done, just waiting for the rest of the meat to get done so that I can make the gravy and have them simmer in the gravy. And then I gotta make the mustard cream sauce.
When's dinner?
So the mustard cream sauce is just that, mustard and cream. So I am using the Trader Joe's Honey Pale Ale mustard. It is good. The German, they like the spicy brown mustard. I actually not me, but me and my husband went out with another couple to dinner at a restaurant called Granite City in Franklin, Tennessee. Probably 2 Octobers ago, and they were doing Oktoberfest with a lot of German foods, and they served their spätzle with a mustard cream sauce. And I'm not sure if that's tradition for German dishes, but it was delicious. You just drizzle it on your spätzle, or you could dip pretzels in it too. And so basically I just mixed the two, and it was the same taste and consistency that they had at Granite City restaurant. So I'm just going to heat up the heavy cream, and it's just me and my husband that like the cream sauce. So not going to make a lot. It's probably like 1/3 of a cup or 1/4 of a cup. Oh. And then I do need 2 hands to it. I'm going to put some mustard, and then as it warms up, I'm just going to taste it, because I want to taste the mustard, but not it to be completely mustard. So I will tell you what the measurements are after I try it. So I'm starting off with a heaping tablespoon of the mustard. And you do get that pale yellow color. And it's not hot yet. I did turn the fire on, right? Yeah, I did. It's hard to see it. Let me try. Ooh, that's good. All right, so about a third cup to 1 tablespoon, a heaping tablespoon of mustard. That mustard is really good, let me tell you. And these burgers, I'm making a whole bunch, so it is taking a while. Michael's hungry. All right, so this gravy says to mix the contents in 12 ounces of water. So that's about 12. A little shy of, what was it, 1.5 cups. So I'm just going to mix that in there. I'm down to my last 2 patties that have to cook. And yeah, we're hungry. Okay, so the burgers are done, and I added the gravy mix to the pan, the hot pan. And then now I'll just start putting some of the burgers back because there are a lot of burgers that I made. They're not all gonna fit. So obviously another night, I'm gonna have to get some brown gravy somewhere, but another night of German burgers, I'm not gonna have that gravy with it. So yeah, just, I picked up that packet when I was in Virginia, and I picked up a couple of them. I forgot the German name for the one that was actually the German hamburgers. That was like the first one we made. I should have bought extra of those. I'm gonna have to see if I could find them online. I bet you Amazon sells them. I thought it was so cool that they were authentically from Germany. But yeah, I do try to cook foods to honor our heritage. I'm Puerto Rican, so I obviously make some Puerto Rican stuff. And although we're not Italian, we eat a lot of Italian food. You know what? But that's because all of my husband's family, most of them, almost all of them, except him, married an Italian. So you would think they were Italian when we were all together. So that's where we adopted the Italian ways through marriage. But my husband is Irish, German, Scottish, with a little bit of Dutch and English. So I have been on the hunt for Scottish food. Never really found anything good other than shortbread. And Irish, of course, I do the corned beef and cabbage and potatoes at St. Patrick's Day. And then for the German food, I tried to do German burgers or pork schnitzel, which is pork cutlets. Pretty much it's like a chicken cutlet, except pork. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy, and, just to honor those heritages. So that's going to simmer a little bit. The Spätzle's done. I have butter in there. My cream sauce, mustard cream sauce is done. I could turn that off. And then I have the broccoli, and we had some leftover peas, so I threw those in there. And that's dinner tonight. And there it is. I have the mustard cream sauce on the Spätzle, and I had gotten that from Aldi's. It was like $1 something. The German burgers with the sauerbraten gravy. I didn't really put extra gravy in it, but it was cooking gravy. But I put some of the mustard sauce on that. And then some fresh broccoli with some leftover peas that we had in the refrigerator. And that is dinner tonight.